Maybe a trip to Europe. Maybe she'd invest it. One thing she knew for certain, she never had to work again. Mary comforted her cousin. Jen, here's what I don't get. I know Chase. Jack used to work for the company. He always used to say that the company's boss was from a super wealthy family. Do you think maybe Chase is just buying the cars on his behalf? Of course, thought Jenny. Why didn't I think of that? So, Mary continued, I was just thinking, if Chase is really that rich, why did he just ask Jack for some money? I mean, he hasn't even paid him back yet. That loser probably just uses his boss's money to impress people. It's not even his. That must be it, thought Jenny. Said Mary, making us look like villains. The more Mary and Jenny thought about it, the more sure they were of their understanding of the situation. They were proud of themselves for figuring it out. Jenny in particular cleaves to the idea that Chase remained a good-for-nothing liar. You're good, Chase Rothman, she said to herself. But I'm better. With that, Jenny pulled out her cell phone and placed a call to her boyfriend. Sometime later, Chase and his colleagues were happily sitting down to enjoy a celebratory dinner at City Grill. The restaurant was one of the top dining establishments in all of Lauderville. Celebrities, politicians, and other A-listers made it a point of visiting whenever they were in town. Only the most prestigious of companies would host their business meetings here. Others couldn't afford it. The Blitztech employees were thrilled to be dining at the notorious establishment and had made bets with each other as to what prompted the occasion. One of the employees picked up a glass of wine and made a toast to Chase. Mr. Rothman, thank you for your invitation to lunch. We're honored to be here with you. Nods of approval and a few whoops of joy passed around the dining room. Chase, too, was in a good mood now that the situation with the cars was behind him. He picked up his glass and said, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I also want you to know that I've been thinking rather highly of all of you. And I promise that if you continue to do your jobs well, as you have been, I will treat you fairly. There was a round of applause, and Chase took a sip of wine before placing the glass gently on the table. Across the room, he could see the waitstaff on their way over to the tables. He smiled. He knew they weren't carrying food to the tables, but rather keys to each employee's new company car. As a member of the waitstaff proceeded to place a single key on each employee's plate, there was a murmur of confusion. What is this? Are these car keys? They have the Mercedes-Benz logo. What's going on? Chase interrupted the excitement. Everyone, I would like each of you to pick up the key on the plate in front of you. He paused and then continued. What you are holding is a key to your new company car, a G500 SUV. A gift from me to you. At this announcement, the entire room exploded into an uproar as everyone started discussing the generous gift amongst themselves. What? A G500 SUV? Really? It's a company car? This car is close to $200,000. This must have cost a fortune. It felt like a dream. Some employees even questioned whether Chase was pulling their leg. Mr. Rothman, this is a joke, right? These must be fake keys. Today's not April Fool's Day. Chase faced the crowd. There's nothing to doubt. After you have eaten your dinner, each of you will find a car that matches your key waiting for you in the parking lot. It is yours to keep. The joy was palpable. Some employees were so excited that their faces had turned bright red. To Mr. Rothman! They cheered. To the most generous boss! Someone even anonymously shouted out, I love you! which was met by hushed giggles. Listening to everyone's kind words, Chase nodded his head in satisfaction. He raised his wine glass and made another toast. Everyone, there is no need to thank me. It is my pleasure to give each of you what you deserve for your hard work at Blitz Tech. And our work together doesn't end here. Our goal is to become the #1 technology company in Lauderdale, and then in America. Here's to Blitz Tech. Cheers erupted across the room. Chase was pleased that his gift of a company car had gone over so well with the employees. He raised his wine glass for a third time, clinked its rim, and signaled to the waiters to begin the dinner service. He couldn't remember the last time he had such an elaborate meal. The waitstaff brought out plate after plate of the most exquisite food. Foie gras, escargot, black truffle. Most of the employees were awestruck. They only ever seen dishes like these on the television. Wine glasses were never empty as bottle after bottle of Chateauneuf de Pape was uncorked. It wasn't lost on most of them that the only reason that they were now eating and drinking to their heart's content was Chase's magnanimity. They raised their glasses to him. To Mr. Rothman, the best boss. Here's to Mr. Rothman. Someone joked, I'll name my first child after you, Mr. Rothman. Not wanting to interrupt the meal, Chase sat quietly and took in the scene. Everyone was laughing, talking, and generally enjoying themselves. Chase couldn't remember the last time he'd been surrounded by so much joy. A few employees wandered up to his table to thank him personally, but for the most part, he was content to take it all in from afar. As the sound of clinking plates being carried back to the kitchen filled the room, Chase was suddenly overcome with sadness. He wasn't ready for the night to end. He had spent so much time today interacting with people who thought he was a loser, a good-for-nothing, that had to be surrounded by so much positivity felt like a slave for his soul. He arranged for the bill of $25,000 to be paid in full and stood for a final announcement. Everyone, why don't we continue this evening at the Sunset Room? Drinks are on me. Everyone cheered. The Sunset Room was the most exclusive nightclub in Lauderdale. In fact, the club was so elite that not a single of Blitz Tech's employees have ever been inside. Even if they could have gotten in, none could have afforded to pay the standard $20 charge for a domestic beer.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.